First thing to understand about this notes document is how you're going to use it. Everything in this middle column right here with avoir, everything on here is about using avoir as the helping verb. The right-hand column here with être, everything here, both pages, is about using être as the helping verb. First thing that I did for you already, so you don't have to listen to me write them all out, is the verbs that use être. So you've got this acronym, Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp, that we already put on your review F notes. We put it here again so that you have everything you need to know in one document. These are the verbs that use être, and we've got a process of elimination going on. So what we know is we're going to use avoir for all verbs except these over here. And I would encourage you right now to hit pause while I've got this zoomed in and transfer all of these over to your notes. Okay, the next step is once you've decided which helping verb you need to use, you're going to conjugate that verb. So for avoir, j'ai, tu as, il en a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont. If you're using être as your helping verb, je suis, tu es, il en est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. So once you've got your helping verb conjugated, then we need to deal with the past participle. So this line here that I have at the top, I have it going across both columns because these rules apply to every verb, regardless of which helping verb it uses. So if your past participle is regular, what that means is it does not show up down here as an irregular. Then for an ER verb, you change your ER to an E with an accent aigu. Your IR, you change to I, and RE, you change to U. What you have in the next line, the next row, is the verbs that have irregular past participles. So again, it's process of elimination. If it's on this list, it uses an irregular past participle. If not, then you're going to use the regular ending that you have up above. So for the verbs that use avoir as their helping verb and have an irregular past participle, avoir is eu, eu, boire, bu, croire is cru, devoir, dû, dire is dit, écrit, été, fait, lu, mis, pu, pris, reçu, vu, and voulu. And again, those are the irregulars. If it's not on this list, but you've decided that avoir is the helping verb, then you're going to use those regular endings up above. For the verbs that use être, your past participles, your irregulars, venu, revenu, devenu, mort, and né. And then the very last detail, the last row, is for agreement. For the verbs that use être, and only the verbs that use être, you're going to make agreement with the gender and number meaning singular or plural, of the subject. So I'll give you some examples below. These are examples like we did before. If we're using the verb aller, to go, if I want to say he went, il est allé. And that's masculine singular. If she went, elle est allée. Because elle is feminine singular, I'm going to add an extra E onto the end. If they went, and this they is a group that we'll say is masculine plural. It might be all boys or it might be boys and girls. But ils sont allés with an S for masculine plural agreement. But if the group was all girls, elles sont allées, it needs an ES for agreement, for feminine plural. In the avoir box for agreement, what we're going to say is none yet. That's a problem for later. I'm not going to lie to you and say that they don't make agreement, because they do, but that is a different type of situation. They do not agree with the subject. And that's something that we'll deal with later on. So for right now, any verb that you're conjugating with avoir, you will not make any agreement. You will not add any e's or s's onto the end of a past participle. Now with this information, you're going to get started on the activity, the all passé composé practice. And I've got 3 examples here that I'll do for you while you follow along. So I'm going to have the notes pulled up over here. Okay, so the first one says, le prof blank à ma question, and the verb is répondre. So we have to look over here at the notes. We're looking for the verb répondre. So we zoom in on Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp, and we look through that acronym. Do we see it there? No, it's not one of the R's in Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp, so that means all verbs except for those are going to use avoir, so we've got avoir as our helping verb. So then we look down here. Le prof would be a he or she conjugation, il or elle, so the helping verb, le prof a. And then for the past participle, we scroll down here to the second page, and we look at, because it's avoir, we're only looking at this box. Is répondre on this list of irregular past participles? No, it's not. So that means we need to do the regular ending. Répondre ends in RE, so that means we're going to, over here, change the RE to a U. So that turns it into le prof a répondu à ma question. And the second one, tomber is your verb. So we go back over here, we go to the first page, and we look. Is tomber on the Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp list? Yep, we have it right here. So that means we're going to conjugate with être. So we stay in this column, we scroll down to our helping verb. Nous is our subject. So then we've got nous right here, nous sommes. And then, just erase those notes I've got here so I don't get confused later. We keep going down. Oops. I erased over here when I didn't mean to. And we look at the irregular past participles. Is tomber on that list? No, it's not. So again, we've got an ER verb. So we're going to change our ER ending, like so. And then we look at the last line, agreement. Make agreement with the gender and number of the subject. Nous, we know that that's masculine plural. So in this case, we're going to add an S onto the end. Nous sommes tombés with an S. Last example, back up to the top. Lire is our verb. So we look at the Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp list. Do we have it on there? No, and some of these verbs you'll learn quickly, you can rule it out. Lire starts with an L. There's no L in the acronym Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp, so it can't be a verb that uses être. It has to be a verb that uses avoir. Okay, so we're in this column. And tu is our subject, so that means we're going to have tu a as our helping verb. And we scroll down here to the past participles. Do we see lire on the irregular list? Yep, we've got it right here. So instead of changing the ending, we have lu for our past participle. So your assignment is you need to get the notes filled out from this video. You need to submit the notes as one homework grade, and then you need to complete this document. It does go on to a second page, and this is the second homework grade. If you have questions, please send an email. I'll explain the best I can, and if the best way to explain it is to do another quick screencast, then I'm happy to do that as well.